I'll be in the grocery store and just start dancing. My husband gets so irritated. Dance is joy. It is breathing to me. I latched on to dance really quickly when I was younger. You know, I had a family of singers. I had a family of people that moved their bodies. It was just natural for me to move my body. And then I realized I could be, and I didn't understand it at the time, I could be as weird as I could be in dance. Because it's like, oh, you're a dancer. And kids were okay with that. They weren't so okay with the queerness, but they were okay that I was like a good dancer and I knew all the popular dances and I could teach it to them. I felt comfortable in my weirdness, which I didn't understand was like gay and queerness at the time, but I was just weird, but I was okay with that because I could dance.
And a 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8 and a 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8 and boom. Next 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5.
I teach in hopes of passing down oral traditions, movement traditions in the African diaspora. I teach people of color and black children predominantly so they can understand what's possible in the world.
5, 6, ready, let's go.
If you're coming to me to learn particular dance steps, that is not what you're going to learn. You're going to learn about yourself. It's about building self-esteem. It's about discipline also. So as you're building self-esteem and you're trying to be like, you're great. Also like, that wasn't so great, do better. And we're so afraid to say that. Like, everyone gets an award. Like, no, you're not gonna get an award with that.
Well, that was rough. So, here, there has to be a smoothness to it. Y'all gotta pay attention. 5, 6, ready, and.
You have to always be great, and not for other people, but for yourselves. And we don't tell people that. You know, it's like, oh, get the applause on stage. And so we get the applause, and we always get the applause. And the moment we don't get the applause, then we, oh my God, they don't like me. It's just like, no, because you were after the wrong things. So I'm teaching about, like, when you applaud yourself.
5, 4, 3, 2, relax.
The new show that I'm working on is called FagGod. I was curious about HIV and AIDS and how it's not a bigger conversation that it was when the epidemic first hit us back in the 80s. During the 70s and 80s especially, with gay men, there were bathhouses. And so that was a sanctuary for a lot of men, a safe space for a lot of men. They could go be as free as they wanted to be. And it was also a place of death. So places of sanctuary and places of death. I'm a person that likes to dance and likes to go out dancing. And so disco music, and people would go to the clubs. It was a place that people was like, oh, this is my church. The DJ was your pastor. The sermon came out through the music. And how these people brought us to a place of safety and love and concern, but also like they couldn't stop the spread of HIV and AIDS also. There's me as the solo dancer, but I'm working with 2 spoken word artists, Na Akua and Na's wife, Anastasia Renee.
I've been re-listening to a lot of 80s music and watching live 80s concerts because a lot of the people we're talking about were in those concerts. They were at American Bandstand. They were in the Solid Gold audience. Some of these people are actually dancing their heart out. They're dancing through heartbreak. They're dancing through sorrow. They're dancing through sickness. They're dancing as a way to resist and persist.
And lesbians, bushes, dykes were kind of like the backbones through this. Like, if you are seen as the untouchable, I'm here to know that you are held. Mm-hmm. And that there is somebody there that is present for you.
How can I communicate to Black people so that we start to look at each other? We start to see each other.
For me, when I collaborate with someone, I'm like, you have free reign. This is the skeleton of what I'm thinking about, but other than that, I cannot tell you what stories I want you to tell. So it's going to be interesting to see what we birth out of all of this.